How long have you been tying?
I tie. Let's see. I only tie for our trip when we go down to.
Okay, so some of the little things you can learn, just little tricks along the way. Tie the stuff around your finger. When you start your base coat like this, you come over that first loop.
Mm-hmm.
Keep this tight and at that angle, and you can go as fast as you want, and it'll lay a perfect base coat because I'm tying against that thread, and that thread's pushing
Fits it right back against the first wrap.
As fast as you can even look away. And tying and whoops. Yeah, I screwed that up, didn't I, Dave? But go right back to there. So that'll help you get a lot faster base coat down. And then just take a piece of 80-pound, and you want to stay way back off that eye. Loop that in there, and then just cut it off. All you're trying to do is widen
Cap
that.
it.
Yeah, you're just giving that foam something to ride on so it doesn't swirl. And then get a really nice base coat on that. And then you can take a pair of pliers and align it. So just pull it up there. I got some there, you can see it's right in line. And then cover it well, because that's what all your adhesive is going to stick to. Thread is the cheapest material you own.
Ain't that for sure.
And that is it, unless you're going to add a weed guard. You want a weed guard on this one? No?
Yeah, you do.
Do I?
Yeah, you do. So I preach weed guards all the time.
All right, weed guard it is.
But not because of weeds. It'll increase your casting accuracy by 80%.
I don't know how Gary taught me to cast.
Throw it in the tree.
Same way.
You gotta be in it to win it.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time I'm bitching at Gary. Damn it, Gary! I can't do this.
Yes,
you gotta be in it to win it. 10 more feet.
So that's where you got it from.
And that's why I say it to you.
So this is 20-pound Mason hard mono. Put it in a copper tube and throw it through a cycle in the dishwasher, and it'll straighten it. And then cut it in the lengths. But fold that in half and crease it. So once you got it good and creased, so you form the V there, raise that up and lay that right over the top of the hook. Now what I'm going to do is go figure 8 around this. So, whoop. And around the top of the hook like that. We'll come back and catch that one in the other side of the figure 8.
Come back.
Okay, so it's captured. Now if I just pull them both down and right to the center of the hook, I'm going to set the plane of the nose of my bobbin, and I want to stay on the same plane in about that angle.
Gotcha.
The more I shift that plane up like this, the farther back it's going to push. Right. So about right there, and about 6 wraps, boom, done. Okay, tie off. There you go. Tying's done. Now the playing starts. So you need 3 of these. Okay. So the first 2, we're going to line up the face here. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay. Line up the face. We're going to cut those to length so they're both equal. You can cut them whatever you want. If you want a really short minnow, cut it up here. If you want a long one, cut it long. So then I'm going to set this one aside so I don't get them confused. I'm going to turn that up on back, and then I'm just going to lay my face right here at the base of that weed guard, and then aim for the center of the tail there, and then press. Once I got a nice little indent there, see the indent? I take my knife and just cut about a 1/4 inch slit in it, and then we got it.
Okay, so you're through.
Right. I'm going to cut these weed guards off. I turn it back up, and now we're just going to push that right over the weed guards, rotate it, and it's going to slide right in like that. Okay. Now when you're working with, pause. I got to go get some water. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that sideways, and I'm going to wet this. Doesn't need to be soggy, but just damp. And then we'll just coat the bottom of that with super glue. don't spare it. And then we'll take something flat like that and just run that up right behind, give it a little press, and it's stuck already. So if you don't use the moisture,
Water activates it.
it does. Yeah, yeah, it's amazing how it does. Okay, now I've got the bottom side set. So now this is my other one that I trimmed the length. So I know it's going to go on this way. So now I'm going to apply the tail to this side. So rotate that down, and then we'll just take a little bit of super glue, just enough to see right there. And then these are the thin fins. And then you can make this as long as you want or as short as you want. You like them long or short?
Right there is good.
Right there?
Sure.
Okay. So then just try to lay that right down the center of the fly, like so. And then just rub that with your bobbin, and the glue will come right through it. Now it's stuck, and we can trim off this. That done. Now if you just tap that on the moisture, it's set already. Now it won't stick.
Nice.
Okay. Now we're going to decapitate this guy. so we're going to make a place for the diver fin. So what I'm going to do, if you just slide it right over my shoulder, I'm going to try to draw a picture right down the center of this fly, just with my eye, and I'm going to try to set that square with that line, kind of about there, and then I'm going to turn that at a little bit of an angle, cut down, pop his head off. Okay. So that's going to be that when we glue this.
You get the angle for
right, and I'm really crooked on that one, so I'm going to recut it. See how crooked it is this way? Yeah. So I'm going to recut that. There we go. A little bit better. I never have a problem unless somebody's watching.
Right.
When somebody's watching,
That's exactly
everything
the
goes
way it
wrong.
always goes.
That's get that little corner off there. There we go. So that's a little better in the square department. Okay, now my dive fin is going to set true to the fly. Okay, so set that on your wet pad. Just get it wet, and then we'll paint this with the. I usually use 2 full dips of super glue if you're using the little brushable kind. And that seems to be just about right. If you watch real carefully, like in the sheen of the light, you can actually see it drying. And if it dries out on you, it won't stick. Can you see the sheen there? Okay.
Yep.
All right. If you hurry, you can get that in there, and then just line it up. Tail first. And boom, and it's already set.
You get one chance, exactly.
You get one chance, exactly. That you can actually, when you squeeze this, you can actually feel the heat from the super glue as it's curing. All right, so there's the base of your minnow. Now what you're going to do is you're going to use the third piece, and you're going to create that dive platform with it. So we'll just get that wet. Glue that up. And I put the glue right on the edge of that little angle that we set there, and that'll help hold that dive platform up. Then we're just going to put that right on the nose. Give her a little bit of squeeze. Now, have you got a nice long pair of hackle pliers? You'll take those hackles and stick it right there, as square as you can get it. Boom, look what happens. There you go. That's your dive platform. And it's already set. So now when you cut that top off, what I've learned is that don't cut it where you think it needs to go. Cut it about a lot higher. So it looks like it ought to be there, but I'm going to cut it there because I can always recut it. Yeah, that's about right. There we go. And then nip that little corner off there. You can do whatever you want here. Okay, so now this is where it gets. You got to kind of learn this, but slide in here real close where you can see. So I'm gonna take this thing from kind of offset, little pieces of, it's all blocky and square. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna aim with my scissors and I'm gonna cut this surface in half. So I'm gonna cut it there. And turn it over and cut that one in half. What I'm doing is I'm trying to take away that blockiness and some of the weight. But I'm gonna trim the whole thing out in the same fashion. That side. And don't worry about how rough it looks because we got a method to fix it. So trim it all the way down. See where those two sheets are offset a little bit? Once I get the other side of that trimmed off, I can go back and just prune that up a little bit. And the realism just is amazing once you do this. This was another Jonathan Kiley thing that I went, wow! Yeah, and if you just push that
things
dive
you don't
in,
think to do.
Yeah. Now this part takes practice and you will ruin flies until you get the hang of it. So I'm going to hold this because this is polyethylene. Any heat hits it, it's gone. Yeah, so just hold it and watch what happens. All I'm going to do is warm that foam. And then I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to rub it. See what's happening?
Blends it in. Nice.
Yeah. But there is a fraction of a second difference between that stage and melting. And once it starts to melt, it doesn't stop. It goes clear across the fly. Yeah, so you can work out all those little scissor marks. And you just keep going around the fly. And your weed guards, weed guards are also susceptible to heat. If heat hits them, they'll wrinkle. So if it's not real bad right there. It's not too bad. I can live with that. See, we got a little bit of offset right there. If you just go back with your scissors and cut that high ridge off, just prune that right off there. Now we're back into the shape of the original shed. A little bit on the bottom. So from this part out, it's all about how much artwork you want to put into it. You know, you could stop and go fishing right here, and you'll catch fish. So that's pretty close right there. Now the only thing I do if I'm just doing a blank like that, what I do is give it a little tip up back in the vise, and then whatever UV you like. I put a dollop of UV behind that to hold it up.
So Rose, love
Yeah,
that stuff.
yeah. But kind of, and don't be real liberal with it, but don't go too light either. But kind of let it go up the dive platform. Now all you have to do is whatever height you want on that platform, you can kind of set it. You know, if you like it. If you want it back here, or if you want it up here, just kind of depends on how you're fishing, how you want it to go. When it gets where you want it, then just cure it. Give it a double dose.
Those old school torches, man.
I know, right? Right, still going. Not on camera.
No doubt.
CCGs.
Loon, they're clear goo. Yeah. So,
That's a distant memory right there.
Yeah.
you can't even buy that stuff.
Yeah, he's
got,
gone.
I've got one of yours.
I gave you mine. I use loon stuff.
That's my last bottle.
You know, I've got bottles still
Of tax free?
of. Let me check. I'm
If you
almost
do,
positive
I'll
I've
buy
got
them
tech
off
free.
of
No, I'll just give them to you.
Nice.
I've got bottles, and if you need eyes, I've got boxes of eyes.
Do you really? You got 5mm?
Just
5mm silver
Alright.
eyes. Nothing special.
yeah, I'm sure I do.
Really?
I mean, I've
Oh,
got bags.
Cool. So at this point, there's some debate whether the UV cure helps catch fish or hinders catching fish, because the foam itself is abrasive and it has a different action in the water than the slick finish from that. So there's actually kind of testing the theory right now of
Nice.
which one catches more fish. And so far, the non-UV coated ones are catching more fish.
Interesting.
Right. But what the UV coating does when you coat the whole fly is locks in the color.
Big time.
And it locks on the eyes.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you get a lot of color bleed without.
You get a lot
of bleed.
A lot of fade.
Yeah,
you know,
real
so
quick.
Like these down here, these are uncoated, and then these are all coated. And check this one out, Dave. That's 14 karat gold.
Man alive.
I gold leafed it.
Where's that? There it is. That's fancy, man.
That's cool.
That's the fly you lose and you cry.
I know. Right? Here's another one.
Just-
I gold leafed him too.
Oh, that is dope. Look at that.
Yeah, so there's multiple ways you can adjust this pattern. So this one's a diver. This one is I wouldn't call it a popper, but I would call it a gurgler. So what I did is I took the head and put the head on first,
Right.
and then put this one up and
Back.
bring it forward. Right. So gurgler, popper. You can do them upright like this. When I go upright, I change from a 1/0 hook to a 2/0 hook, and then I lead wrap that.
Gotcha.
Okay. So you can also go deep dive. So this one is a deep diver, where I lead wrap the hook, but I also put dumbbell eyes in it. Yeah.
Look at that.
So what I do on the dumbbell eyes is I actually tie the eye on first, put the first side up against it,
Pop
and
through.
take my vodka and heat it up and just go
Twink.
and then pop it around it. Yeah, it's that simple. Really,
Yeah.
you can see how it totally fills in around all of the eye.
Big time.
And then if you want to get really silly, you can hinge them. Just cut it in half, and then when you add the tail, just lay a separate piece of tail in it to create the hinge. Or you can add two tails, one high, one low, to fill it in. But
You're genius.
no.
Or I said the mad scientist.
So,
Wow.
trying to think of what else. Okay, so here's what's coming. As we've downsized the pattern.
Okay.
I can't find my fly, and we've upsized the pattern. So now
Oh, Lord.
we'll have all three sides.
I like that upsized.
Yeah. So
That'll be good in Canada. That'll be good
I want
down
that. I want that.
this one.
I want that upsized like a factor of like 3 or 4.
So
But it becomes a kite.
I was about to say, yeah,
right.
fun
So,
throwing that.
what's happening though is with Tony and being able to manufacture a cutter, it's going to be impossible because of the handle material.
Oh, yeah.
And the amount of force it takes to pop through the foam.
Yeah.
But what we might be able to
You'd
do,
have to take a mallet.
Just
you
make the
can,
framing and then have.
if you want to go that big, all you need is this.
Yeah.
And lay it down and trace it with a pencil.
And then
Just take a pencil or something, a compass, and trace it with a compass, and you can enlarge it to however
Whatever
big
you
you
want.
want.
Yeah.
Right. And now you can get into making them tube flies.
Yeah.
You can get into there's just unlimited things you could do when you get into big toothy fish. So, but yeah.
So what are you using to put the paint jobs on them?
So I am horrible at Copic marker airbrushing.
I'm probably worse.
So have you ever seen the airbrush system?
Yeah.
I suck at it. So I'm forced to draw.
You draw?
Right. So I've tended to kind of just
Man, I bought that Copic. I even went and bought a little compressor.
I
was like, I'm going to get good at this. And then like,
And then
holy crap, do I suck at it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, look at that beautiful mess I made.
Right. So what's your favorite minnow pattern of fish? Something like in the olive.
Right.
I mean,
this is the natural, black.
This is kind of my shad imitation.
Yep.
So now you're into artwork, and this is where it starts getting long in the tooth. But
It's no longer a quick and dirty.
no, it's no longer quick and
Now
dirty.
it's a half hour of.
Right. So, let's say we want to do this fire tiger. Okay. So in the fire tiger mode, I'm just going to use the Copic. This one's a little rough because Copic doesn't dry really fast, so you kind of got to layer it and then wait. So, wrong color. So, in the color spectrum, the yellow will bleed the worst, but everything will cover up yellow. So if you just start with yellow, you can run a big thing of yellow down the middle.
Gotcha.
Right. Just something rough. It doesn't have to be clean or neat.
Clean it up with the other colors.
Right, you clean it up with other colors. Did I do? Yeah, I did it right down the tail on that one. I use a Post-it notes. If you just set a pack of Post-it notes on your vise, you can lay that on the Post-it note. But there they are, right there. So if you just lay the Post-it note there, you can go whoop. Now all the ink stays on the Post-it note instead of on your
Pants.
Yeah.
High tech.
Yeah, right.
So high tech.
Right. This one is really rough, but it's something like that. You don't have to be real clean about it, but we'll clean it up with the orange and the green. So, if I touch that,
No, it's going to be everywhere.
right? See, it's stuck on my finger, but it's alcohol based, so you can wash off with alcohol. The other thing is you don't ever want to touch super glue to yellow. I'll show you why. There's some yellow. Watch what happens. It turns bright red. And it just keeps getting redder, or pretty soon it's going to look like crimson.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's your indicator dot.
Right.
Yeah, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There's easy ways to do that. You can
Just
use,
Bright red.
yeah. Because those Copics are too damned expensive to.
They are.
$7 a marker.
Yeah, you're getting a good deal if you find one for $7. Yeah. So anyway, I take the orange now and just set that bottom line. Gotta come in there and clean that up. Something like that. Turn her over and do the other side. Always start low, and you can just keep bringing that edge up. So you come in like so. You just happen to get a nice clean line the first time. Well, good for you.
Never.
Yeah, but if you start low and just start brushing it up, you can. Now, if you want to, I don't do it on this fly, but if you want to bleed colors, take a Q-tip, dip in alcohol, and just start rubbing that up here and get the ink on the Q-tip, and then you can bleed it across the other color, and you can do stuff. Get out of there. You can do stuff like that.
Cool.
Where I just touched that. I did yellow down there at the bottom, then I took olive. I took dark olive, then light olive, and then just brushed it down, and the farther I brush it, the lighter it gets. So
cool.
You can do a little bluegill like that. Anybody can do this. I mean,
right.
You can. I'll take
I can prove you wrong.
Yeah. Let me clean up that backside. Okay, so orange is pretty much done. And then I'll take chartreuse. Never comes out chartreuse. It's more of a lime green, but that's as good as I can get it in the Copic system. But And then, you know, all this stuff is up to you. You want more green and yellow, you just paint it up how you want.
I'm always looking for the colorblind fish.
Yeah, me too. The dumb and
the dumbest
colorblind.
one
That's
I
mine. Those are my buddies. Commercial tires wouldn't like doing this part of it, but the commercial tires would like doing the blanks. You know, just taking them to that stage right there.
Yeah.
You could do
Bust them out.
Oh yeah, you could bust out 100 of them in no time. It's a whole lot of stamping, but you could do it.
You know what would be nice is taking one of those, kind of like a
I got a little bit of yellow to clean up right there above that hook where I missed the. Now, since I'm going light to dark, if I touch that green, it'll come up on my pen and then I'll carry it, you know, left to right. So you gotta be a little bit careful. And I missed the tail, so come over here where you can see the tail. Careful. So we'll take the orange just right down the edge. Now that polyethylene on that tail or whatever that stuff is made out of, it will suck the.
It absorbs it.
It does.
Unlike the foam.
Yeah. So you just kind of anticipate that and just touch the edge of it. So I'm just going to barely touch that. See how it whipped right off into that pin? Come on. There we go. Yeah, so now you got those three colors. Now to make the fire tiger pattern there, what I do is I use, and you can invent your own ways of doing this. You can take a black line right down the back like that. What I tend to like to do is I just use the pin. Get all this junk out of the way.
I see what you're doing.
Right.
You're just gonna press.
I'm just gonna press it in. Is all I'm gonna do. So pick a depth, and then roll that thing up. And there you go.
Boom.
And you can if you don't
Long
like the
stroke,
width,
short stroke.
right.
Roll it, whatever.
Yeah, roll it back and forth. We can do one there. Don't like that one. Yeah. So and just work your way up and down with whatever pattern you know. Every one of them's a little bit different, but kind of roll them back and forth. I don't think the fire tiger actually has a pattern, so whatever pattern you do is it needs one right in there. So
nice.
there you go, and then do the other side. And you can, if you want to run them over the top, you can do that. I kind of like to just run them wild. I'm going to put a black top on this one. So, something like that. I need something a little bigger right here. Break it up some. There we go. A little better. And I'm going to black top this one. Most all minnows have a dark top. So whether you black top him or, some other color you like, kind of joins that stuff together. And you can spend as much time as you want right here doing this.
This is why I never paint my poppers. Because
See, I've always wanted to get into painting the poppers.
I'm like, ooh, shiny. And then I'm like, an hour later, I'm on the same popper. Like,
I just did 6 of these. 6 of these down in Florida. Same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I tie the fly in 6 minutes.
6 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you.
And now I got half an hour in coloring.
Easy.
You know, so that's that part. Now, if you want to go to the next level, so I'm going to take, this is my fancy tool here. So I took a cap and cut a little V in it. This doesn't work real good with the weed guards, but I'll try. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to hook that right across the eye and then press. And it's going to give me a little indentation to follow. There you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
So this will be my gill slit. So I can just follow that gill slit right there. Alright. Now for a fin, real simple 3 little line job. I'm going to start about right there behind the fin and I'm going to go make a line up and back. I like that. And then down. And then join those two. Right there at the base, make a C so it looks real. And then these 2 fin lines, kind of hook them down a little bit. Now you got a little fin, but this is a archival pin. That's 1,000. It comes all the way down to 0.5 tip.
Wow.
that looks like a hair on there. So
Yeah.
you know it's tiny, and it doesn't mark over the Copic very well. But so let's put one on the back side here. So the same thing on the fin. Is just start back in here somewhere. You know, some kind of line, angle one down, angle those 2 together. Make your little C shape there. And 2 lines. And there. Now if you want to really add some realism, go back in here and just touch that up with some dots. See what it did?
Huh.
Nice.
It just rough edges that back side of the fin. And now,
Cool.
all that's fun. Now let's make it come to life. So now we have a really fancy looking dude, but this is the best part by far, is because they go from dead to alive. Boom. Now we have a minnow. Isn't that cool? Now it looks like something.
What size are those?
These are 5mm.
5s.
Mm-hmm.
I got bags of them. If you guys need them. I just got to find them. Everything's in boxes right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every year I say I'm going to sit down and I'm going to tie more. I'm going to tie more. I'm going to fish more.
Yeah.
I think I fished twice this year.
So.
Well, my boat's in pieces right now.
Well,
so,
Wildcat's right behind my house.
Oh yeah, yeah. So now, that style of weed guard, what you want to do, put your fingertip. So I'm gonna hold the left hand here, and I'm gonna put my fingertip on this, and I'm gonna make that weed guard bend in the direction I want. If I let it go this way, it will stay in that shape. If I let it go that way, it'll stay in that shape. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna force this tip down to here, and then crease it. So take it right there and bend it and make it go right through there. And get to the bottom, crease it, and it'll stay right there where you need it to go. Just like that. And then switch hands. Do the same thing the other side. Just make it go right where you want it to go. Crease it. Like that. Comes right back up to where. Now you want that to come just a little bit below the hook right there.
Nice.
Now what will happen when you fish that, take this out and actually throw it into a bush. Okay, so don't even go near the water. Just throw it into a bush and learn how much force it takes to collapse that.
Gotcha.
Once you learn it, you can actually throw it in the top of that bush and wiggle it all the way through the bush, plop, hit the water and fish it out.
That's what we call a natural presentation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So the final step to finishing this particular one, I'm going to use the tack-free. I'm not having any luck with any other brand. The loon seems to just always be sticky. I can never get it to.
Really?
Yeah. If I leave them hang up here for a week or so, they'll quit sticking each other. But The clear cure has kind of been my compadre for so many years.
Yeah, I know. I had so much of it.
Yeah.
Before he disappeared.
Right. So I'm gonna coat the eye and just be, pretty liberal with all of it. Get the entire.
I always liked the what do they call it? Clear cure, the flex that he was making.
Yeah.
I always liked that stuff.
I got another bottle of the hydro in there, but I don't find many uses for the hydro.
I was using the hydro for something. I mean, that was years ago, so yeah. I've slept since then.
Right, exactly. Cover the eye pretty good. Another little trick, Andrew, is when you get it on and you think you got it all on, if you turn the fly into the glare of your light, the glare will show you where you've missed. Yeah. If you don't and you hit it with the cure light, the cure light tells you where it's at, but it's too late then.
Much of the CCG left.
No, I've got a couple.
I don't even know if it's good. It's so old.
Yeah. I mean, it still works.
Now, when you do this, pull this up and put a pretty good amount behind that fin. You see, it's already holding it up. But when you start to cure this thing, that's the first spot you want to cure. You want to hold that at whatever angle that you want it to be, and cure that right there first. Yeah. And that'll set your fin and
set the action.
Right. And once you fish these a couple times, you may want some that don't dive as hard. You may want some that dive harder, and you can set all that by however you set that fin. I think I pretty well got it covered up there. And we'll take a look around. A little spot right there. There it went. And a little spot right there. Hell, didn't get any on there, dude. There we go. The whole zone right there. There we go.
Man, I swear, that stuff does make it come to life.
It does.
It just pops.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I love about the Copics. You cover them.
And they get bright.
They just pop so nice.
Yeah. So that little bit behind the fin there is trying to find its own level. So it's trying to run out. So I'm just going to watch for a second, try to get it kind of evened up.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I'm going to go right back there and hit that first. So with CCG, it takes a full 30 seconds to get a cure.
Yeah.
So if you count it out at 30 seconds, it'll be done. You can see it bubbling underneath there. Kind of see it always the black. The black always starts to bubble. It looks like it's boiling. I'm counting. Should do. Done. There you are, brother.
Awesome. Awesome.
Take that blank home with you too.
That'll get eaten.
Yeah. Big time.